If you've watched my original messy home tour, you know that I've come a long way, but I still have a long way to go and I still struggle with clutter creep. If you can relate to this, I want to share with you a habit that I'm adding to my routine. The 5-minute hack. Here is my kitchen. It is the day after Halloween and after a shift of work. Now, these are all clean dishes. I know exactly where they go, so I'm not going to touch them during this 5-minute reset. But I will be putting away other things on the counter. And I will be starting my timer, and feel free to do your own 5 minutes of cleaning like this while I explain what the 5-minute reset is and how you can use it. 5 minutes begins now.
After recording this, I realized there is room for different kinds of 5-minute hacks or resets. So this one I'm calling a Clutter Buster. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheesy, but it gets the point across because each small reset or hack is going to have different rules. And here are the ones for a Clutter Buster. And stick around because I ended up breaking one of these rules. The 3 rules are: the time limit is sacred, focus only on surfaces, and only 2 actions are allowed: toss or transport. And this is inspired by Dana K. White, who's awesome and who I'm very grateful to. Her books and YouTube channel are really helpful. I just wanted to formulate it a little differently. So let's explain the rules. First and foremost, the time limit is sacred. We must stop when the timer goes off. This is a 5-minute Clutter Buster. You could have a 7-minute one or a 10-minute one, but this is probably as long as it should be. A Clutter Buster should, by nature, be short because the goal is sustainable homekeeping. This combats the common pitfall of turning a quick tidy into an hour-long project, which leads to burnout. So when that timer stops, you stop. Even if there's one piece of mail left on the counter, you stop. This isn't laziness, it's setting a boundary to make sure you come back and do it again tomorrow. If you do this for 5 minutes a day, it's going to make a difference. I'm still learning and building my routine, so I haven't been that good, or perhaps structured is the better word. But even doing it occasionally, I can see that I am mostly keeping clutter creep at bay. I think if I actually apply it as described, I will. And since we've been letting our house go for a while, I'll also see it reduce. Rule 2. Focus only on the surfaces, the visual clutter. This rule dictates what you are allowed to touch. You are addressing visual noise to restore a sense of calm. In these 5 or 10 minutes, we are only touching things that are on horizontal surfaces: the floor, the counter, the coffee table, the dresser, the nightstand. We are only allowed to open a drawer or a cabinet or a closet door maybe to put something away. Just shove the thing in there. If there's a place for it, put it there. There will be other times to organize.
I just handed that to my husband. He said it's mine.
The goal is to clear things that distract your eye, not organize the things that are already hidden. We need to reduce our sense of unease. Rule 3. Only 2 actions are allowed: toss or transport. This is a very important rule for maintaining speed. During the 5 minutes, you are not allowed to organize, arrange things, or declutter in any container. You only perform one of 2 actions. Toss. Throw away immediate trash, recycling, or expired food or mail. Transport. Carry the item to the room or area it belongs to. Bring the mug back to the kitchen, bring the sweater back to the bedroom. In this hack, if you need to take it further away, like upstairs, you may have a designated transport pile to be dealt with in the last 20 seconds to a minute. This keeps your 5-minute clock running fast and prevents you from getting stuck. It removes the cognitive load of decision making when you're tired or short on time, focusing only on efficient movement. Now, to make this work, you need to decide how this habit will fit into your schedule. When is the best time for you to do this? Maybe right after getting ready for the day or right after work. Yep, you see, I went over the time limit. In this case, I'm not going to drop the thing I just picked up. I will transport it or throw it away, but I'm not allowed to pick up anything else. Now, obviously, this is not the only habit we need to create to help our house become cleaner and more functional for our lives, but it is a great starter habit and can be effective.
That's it. Okay, so these are going downstairs. That's why I set them at this part of the corner. And I have a few other things to do, but that's it. The time limit is sacred. As you can see, I have not finished cleaning my kitchen, but that's okay. This isn't perfect. This isn't even progress. It is keeping the clutter from snowballing or even avalanching. Both physically, I have actually removed some of the clutter from these surfaces, and mentally, I've checked in with what's going on with my surfaces, and I am creating a better habit. I'm owning what is going on here. Tidying and cleaning the house, decluttering, especially if you're recovering from the state that my house was in, is a marathon. But this was a sprint. I've owned this mess and this space so that I can continue to navigate my journey, my marathon. Now, I asked you previously what your messy clutter struggle was. I'd love to read about it. Please share it with me in the comments.